Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Other people's doubt is not your destiny. Doubt is just a projection of their own fears, insecurities, and limitations. When someone doubts you, they are often speaking from a place of their own failures or experiences, not from any real knowledge about your true potential. Many times, people doubt what they cannot understand. They doubt dreams that are bigger than their imagination. They doubt resilience they have never had to summon. They doubt greatness because they have accepted mediocrity in their own lives. But their doubt is not a prophecy. It is not a chain around your ankles. It is not a ceiling over your head. It is just noise. It is a distraction. Your destiny is not dictated by how many people believe in you, cheer for you, or even understand you. Your destiny is determined by the amount of work you are willing to do, the battles you are willing to fight, and the belief you have in yourself. When nobody else does, people will doubt you because it is easier for them to believe in what they can see than what they cannot. Dreams are invisible until they become reality. Hard work is invisible until it produces results. Determination is invisible until it moves mountains. That is why you must keep moving, even when it feels like nobody is paying attention, even when it feels like you are walking alone. Every step you take toward your goals is a step away from their limited expectations. Every sacrifice you make, every setback you overcome, every small victory you claim is a brick in the foundation of a destiny that does not belong to the doubters. It belongs to you. You must be willing to understand that doubt from others is not an obstacle, unless you allow it to be. If you internalize their doubts, if you start to second guess your vision, if you let their small thinking infect your dreams, then you have surrendered your future to people who were never meant to write it. But if you can stand strong in the face of doubt, if you can keep working, keep believing, keep striving, then their voices will become nothing but background noise. You will realize that the path to greatness has always been walked by those who were doubted the most. Every innovator, every trailblazer, every leader who changed the world was once told they could not do it. They did it anyway. Doubt can be a powerful fuel if you use it correctly. Let it sharpen your focus, not shake your faith. Let it drive you to work harder, not discourage you into quitting. Let it remind you that what you are building is so powerful, so meaningful, that it threatens the smallness of those who cannot see it. There is a reason they doubt you. It is because your dream is bigger than their vision. It is because your work ethic exposes their laziness. It is because your courage highlights their fear. Do not resent them. Do not argue with them. Do not waste your energy trying to convince them. Prove them wrong by staying the course. Prove them wrong by refusing to quit. Prove them wrong by showing up day after day after day, until your results are so undeniable that even your biggest doubters have no choice but to acknowledge what you have done. You do not have to broadcast your plans. You do not have to explain your dreams. You do not have to justify your ambition. You just have to work. Quietly, relentlessly, faithfully. Your success will speak volumes where words would have fallen flat. And when the results come, you will not need to say a single thing to the people who doubted you. Your life will say it all. Your achievements will stand taller than their doubts ever could. Your legacy will outlast their opinions. Answer critics with your work, not your words. It is natural to want to defend yourself when people underestimate you, criticize you, or tell you that you cannot achieve something you believe in. It is tempting to try to explain yourself, to argue, to prove to them through talking why they are wrong about you. But the truth is, words rarely change the minds of critics. Most people who doubt you are not looking for reasons to believe in you. They are looking for reasons to keep doubting. They have already made up their minds. They have already decided what they think you are capable of, and trying to convince them otherwise with words usually only drains your energy and distracts you from the real mission. Talking will not silence critics. Talking will not erase doubt. Only work can do that. Only results can do that. Only consistent, undeniable excellence can transform doubt into respect. When you focus your energy on the work instead of the critics, you take back your power. You stop reacting to negativity and start building something greater than opinions. Every hour you spend arguing with someone who doubts you is an hour you could have spent getting better. Every conversation trying to explain your vision is time you could have used perfecting your craft. Let them talk, let them doubt, let them laugh. Your job is not to engage them. Your job is to stay focused, stay disciplined, and let your work tell the story. Work speaks louder than any argument ever could. Results are the ultimate proof. Success silences critics faster and more completely than any debate. There is a kind of dignity in choosing silence when you are doubted. There is strength in letting your actions do the speaking for you. It shows that you are grounded, that you know who you are, that you trust the process. People who are really about their mission do not have time to explain themselves to everyone who misunderstands them. They are too busy building, too busy improving, too busy climbing. Words are cheap. Work is priceless. Words can be ignored. Work cannot be denied. When you consistently produce results, when you show up and deliver excellence again and again, even your harshest critics will be forced to take notice. They may not like you. They may never admit they were wrong. But they will not be able to ignore what you have built. The road to success is filled with noise. Criticism, doubt, jealousy, misunderstanding, all of it will surround you at some point. If you let every voice distract you, if you stop to answer every insult, you will never reach your destination. You have to learn to tune it out. You have to learn to be so committed to the work, so locked in on your purpose, that nothing can pull you off course. The more you focus on proving yourself with work, the less you will feel the need to explain yourself with words. The more you invest in your growth, your discipline, your excellence, the more irrelevant the critics will become. Critics are often loud at the beginning. They shout when you start because they cannot see the destination you are heading toward. They judge the seed and forget that the seed becomes a tree in time. Your responsibility is not to make them understand. Your responsibility is to plant, to water, to nurture, and to grow. Eventually, the tree speaks for itself. Eventually, the fruit is undeniable. No explanation is needed. No words are necessary. The tree is proof. The fruit is evidence. Your work will be your response, your testimony, your answer to every doubt ever spoken against you. Hard work is the great equalizer because it does not care about where you started, who you know, or what advantages you were given. It strips away excuses, background, and circumstances, and measures everyone by the same standard, effort. It does not guarantee that the path will be easy, and it certainly does not promise immediate results. But it promises that over time, persistent, focused hard work will close the gaps that others thought were impossible to overcome. Talent can give you a head start. Connections might open a few doors. Luck may offer you a brief opportunity. But without hard work, none of those things can sustain success. Hard work is the only thing fully in your control, and it is the one thing that has the power to elevate you beyond what anyone expects or believes. There are people born into privilege, with every resource imaginable at their fingertips, who never accomplish anything meaningful because they rely on what they were given instead of building something of their own. There are others who come from nothing, who have no special advantages, but who achieve greatness because they outwork everyone around them. That is the power of hard work. It levels the playing field. It makes excuses irrelevant. It shifts the focus from what you do not have to what you are willing to do with what you have. It demands discipline when motivation runs out. It demands consistency when results are slow to come. It demands belief in a future that you cannot yet see, but are willing to work for anyway. Hard work does not always get celebrated immediately. In fact, in the beginning, it is often overlooked. People will not see the late nights, the early mornings, the sacrifices, the moments of doubt that you fought through. They will only see the outcome when it arrives, and they will call it talent or luck or timing. But you will know the truth. You will know that it was built hour by hour, day by day, decision by decision, long before anyone was watching. You will know that it was built in the moments when quitting would have been easier, but you stayed committed. Hard work is the quiet architect behind every story of success that the world eventually admires. There is something deeply freeing about understanding that your destiny is not in the hands of other people. It is not determined by what you were born with or what you lack. It is determined by how hard you are willing to work, how far you are willing to push, how deeply you are willing to believe in yourself. Hard work gives you back control over your life. It teaches you that you do not have to wait for permission. You do not have to wait for perfect conditions. You do not have to wait for someone to recognize your potential. You can create your own opportunities through effort and persistence when you work hard. You build not just skills but character. You become someone who can be trusted to endure, to persist, to deliver. You build a reputation with yourself first, a confidence that does not need to be announced because it is felt in the way you move and the way you handle adversity. Hard work teaches patience, resilience, humility, and grit. It forces you to grow beyond your comfort zone, to stretch yourself into new capabilities. It forces you to become the kind of person who can handle the weight of success when it finally comes, because you have already carried the weight of sacrifice, struggle, and steady, unrelenting effort. Hard work is also the thing that separates those who wish from those who achieve. Everyone dreams, everyone talks about what they want, but few are willing to pay the price that achievement demands. Dreams are free, goals are easy to set, but turning them into reality requires grinding through days when progress feels invisible, pushing through fatigue, facing fear, overcoming failure, and continuing forward when the excitement fades and only discipline remains. This is where most people stop, but those who are willing to keep going, to keep building, to keep fighting, find that hard work eventually bends reality in their favor. Respect yourself and the gift God gave you, because everything you have, every talent, every dream, every spark of potential inside you was placed there for a reason. It was not random. It was not an accident. There is something inside you that the world needs, and the greatest mistake you can make is to treat that gift casually, to take it for granted, or to let it wither away because of fear, laziness, or the opinions of others. Respecting yourself means recognizing that you were created with purpose, that you have a responsibility not just to yourself, but to the calling that has been placed on your life. It means treating your dreams with the seriousness they deserve, working on your skills with discipline, and showing up every day ready to honor the opportunity you have been given simply by being alive. Too often people sabotage themselves because they do not truly respect their own potential. They allow doubt to shrink them. They allow distractions to consume their time. They listen to the voices that say they are not good enough, smart enough, talented enough. But when you truly respect yourself, you understand that your potential is sacred. You understand that your time is valuable. You understand that wasting your gifts is the same as disrespecting the very source of those gifts. Respecting yourself means holding yourself to a higher standard even when nobody else is watching. It means doing the work even when no one is clapping for you. It means believing that your future is worth fighting for, worth sacrificing for, worth sweating for. The gifts you have were not given to you to sit unused. They were given to you to be developed, sharpened, and used to make an impact. Whether your gift is leadership, creativity, compassion, intelligence, perseverance, or something else, it is your duty to nurture it, to invest in it, and to share it with the world. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, every time you choose growth over fear, every time you choose persistence over quitting, you are showing respect for the gifts you have been entrusted with. You are saying that you recognize the value of what you have been given, and you are determined not to let it go to waste. Respecting yourself also means refusing to settle. It means refusing to live a life that is smaller than the one you are capable of living. It means refusing to let temporary failures define you, refusing to let setbacks become excuses, refusing to let comfort zones become cages. It means daring to dream bigger, to aim higher, to demand more of yourself because you know you are made for more. When you respect yourself, you stop waiting for permission to chase your dreams. You stop waiting for someone to validate you, or endorse you, or pave the way for you. You realize that you do not need anyone else's approval to work hard, to show up, to build, to create, to climb. You realize that your calling is bigger than their opinions. It is easy to get distracted in a world that celebrates noise over substance, shortcuts over sacrifice, and popularity over purpose. But when you respect yourself and the gift God gave you, you stay focused on the things that matter. You understand that true fulfillment does not come from applause or recognition, but from knowing that you honored your purpose, that you gave everything you had, that you did not let fear or laziness or doubt rob you of the life you were meant to live. Self-respect fuels persistence. It fuels resilience. It fuels the quiet, steady grind that eventually separates the dreamers from the doers. It gives you the strength to say no to things that waste your time and yes to things that challenge you to grow. It reminds you that you are worthy of the dreams you are chasing, not because someone else said so, but because the gifts planted inside you prove it every day is a new chance to either respect or disrespect the gifts you have been given. Every decision you make, every habit you build, every sacrifice you are willing to make is a reflection of how seriously you take the calling on your life. Be about it. Do not just talk about it because talking is easy. Talking costs nothing. Talking gives you the illusion of progress without requiring any real sacrifice. Anyone can say what they are going to do. Anyone can make bold claims about their future, about their dreams, about the success they will achieve one day. But the world does not respond to what you say. It responds to what you do. There is a big difference between declaring your ambitions and actually building them, between making promises and keeping them, between announcing your goals and taking the daily actions required to reach them. True strength, true commitment, true belief is revealed not in how loudly you talk, but in how consistently you move, work, and build without needing the constant applause of others. When you live in your actions rather than your words, you gain a quiet power. You are no longer trying to convince others to believe in you, because you believe in yourself enough to keep working even when no one is watching. You are no longer dependent on external validation, because your confidence is rooted in discipline, not opinion. Every day that you work, even without recognition, even without immediate results, you are laying a foundation that words could never match. Every time you show up tired, uncertain, afraid, but you do the work anyway, you are becoming the kind of person who can actually carry the weight of the dreams you talk about. Dreams do not come true because they are spoken. They come true because they are pursued relentlessly through action. It is easy to get caught in the trap of talking because talking gives you a rush. It makes you feel like you are doing something. It impresses people momentarily. But talk fades fast, excitement fades fast. The only thing that stays, the only thing that builds over time, is action. If you want to separate yourself from the crowd, if you want to be the one who actually finishes the race instead of just starting it, you have to be willing to shut out the noise and focus on the work. You have to be willing to be patient while you build the skills, the resilience, the mindset needed to truly succeed. You have to love the process more than you love the attention. Being about it means you do not need to announce every move you make. You do not need to post every step you take. You do not need constant reinforcement or applause. You know where you are headed, and you know that the real proof will be in the final product, not the halfway announcements. The people who talk the most often achieve the least because they confuse movement with progress. They confuse visibility with value. But the people who work in silence, who stay humble and hungry, who let their results do the talking, those are the ones who eventually create lives that need no explanation. Action builds credibility. Action builds self-respect. Action builds momentum, and momentum is powerful because it creates a sense of inevitability. Every small action compounds over time. Every repetition, every disciplined decision, every hour spent mastering your craft builds strength that no words could ever match. It creates a reality so solid that not even the strongest doubts or criticisms can shake it. When you are about it, not just talking about it, you move differently. You walk with a different energy. You do not need to convince anyone of your worth because your work speaks volumes long before you ever open your mouth. Every time you feel the urge to talk about what you are going to do, pause and ask yourself if you have done enough yet to let your results speak for you. Every time you want to announce a plan, ask yourself if you are willing to carry it out even if no one cheers. Because at the end of the day, words will be forgotten. Promises will be forgotten. But the impact of action, the proof of consistent hard work, the legacy of what you build with your own two hands, that will endure long after the talking has stopped. Success is not supposed to be comfortable because growth is not comfortable. If success were easy, if it were convenient, if it fit neatly inside the boundaries of comfort, Everyone would have it. But real success demands that you leave behind the familiar, the safe, the easy paths that most people cling to. It demands that you step into uncertainty, into challenges, into the kind of struggle that forces you to become stronger than you ever thought you could be. Comfort zones are where dreams go to die because comfort breeds complacency, and complacency is the enemy of greatness. When you are chasing something bigger than yourself, you have to be willing to endure discomfort, to embrace it, to see it not as a punishment, but as a necessary part of the process that is shaping you into the person who can carry the weight of the dreams you are pursuing. Too many people give up when things get uncomfortable. They think difficulty is a sign they are on the wrong path when in reality, it is often the clearest confirmation that they are on exactly the right one. Growth hurts, it stretches you. It demands sacrifices you did not anticipate and resilience you did not think you had. It tests your patience, your discipline, your faith, but it also reveals your true character. It shows you what you are made of. It builds endurance, toughness, and grit, qualities you cannot acquire by staying comfortable, by taking the easy route, or by giving up when the road gets hard. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to rise. Every hardship you encounter is a chance to build something inside of you that comfort never could. When you endure pain, frustration, fatigue, and keep moving forward, you are forging a version of yourself that can handle the success you are striving for. Success is heavy. Success demands responsibility. Success attracts new challenges, new critics, new obstacles. If you have not built the toughness to endure the climb, you will not be able to survive the summit. That is why the struggle is necessary. That is why the discomfort is part of the blessing, not a curse. It is training. It is preparation. It is refinement. When you start to expect discomfort instead of being surprised by it, you begin to move through it differently. You stop seeing it as a signal to stop and start seeing it as a signal to keep going. You understand that the pain you feel now is shaping the strength you will need later. You realize that nothing worth having comes without cost, without sacrifice, without perseverance. You develop an appreciation for the difficult days, for the silent seasons, for the lonely stretches where it feels like you are carrying the dream alone. Because it is in those moments, not the easy ones, that you are building the foundation for lasting success. The ones who make it are not the ones who had it easy. They are the ones who refused to quit when it got hard. They are the ones who stayed up late working when others went to sleep. They are the ones who kept believing when the results were nowhere to be seen. They are the ones who kept putting one foot in front of the other even when every part of them wanted to turn back. They understood that the price of admission to the life they wanted was paid in discomfort, and they were willing to pay it in full. You cannot avoid the struggle if you want the prize. You cannot wish away the difficulty and still claim the victory. You have to be willing to do what others are not willing to do. You have to be willing to sacrifice comfort for progress, ease for excellence, short-term relief for long-term fulfillment. You have to develop the kind of mindset that does not flinch when things get hard but leans in, that welcomes the challenge, that embraces the heat of the battle because you know what is waiting for you on the other side. The truth is, you are capable of surviving more discomfort than you realize. You are stronger than the fear you feel, tougher than the doubt that creeps in, more resilient than the obstacles that rise up against you. The discomfort you feel today is not a wall blocking you, it is a door training you. And if you keep walking through it again and again, you will find that the very struggle that once seemed unbearable becomes the reason you are unbreakable.